Hello YouTube, Dave here again. Today I'm going to be giving you my review of the John Cena Signature Series WWE Championship Mini Replica Belt. This is one of the newer offerings from WWE Shop, and at least the first production run of this title are limited. It is out of 500, and even though they don't really mention that too much in the product description, you can see it on the picture on the shop of its back, and I will show you here in a second when I take a look at this here. I wanted to get a version of the spinner belt that I could have for the purposes of doing a video on the evolution of the WWE Championship, comparing how, one design sort of affects the next one and so on and so forth. And the spinner belt is actually kind of important for that. So I wanted to have some sort of representation of it. And with the mini belts are great because you can get the title belt without having to pay the money for the full-size one, especially if it's not a design that you really personally want a full-size replica of. The mini belts are really nice quality, and I want to actually start collecting more of them. Especially for things like the current version of the Intercontinental title, and maybe even getting the Statue of Liberty, like the American flag, U.S. title, and the current U.S. title as well. Belts, again, that I'm not personally interested in having full-size replicas of, but want to have to, be able to do like actual videos on. So yeah, I'll be looking to get into more of that here in the very near future. But here we have the velvet belt bag that it comes in, and it's a very nice, soft, velvety feel. A nice shade of green. It's a little bit darker than what the camera actually picks up, especially with the lighting. But yeah, really, really nice belt bag that it comes with. And here we have the actual mini belt. So again, it's about 12 inches long from tip to tip. Which is, again, these things are bigger than you expect them to be. And it's just because, again, there's not really a lot of great things to sort of give you a sense of scale on. But yeah, these are actually pretty good sized. You can put these on your desk or on your shelf, and they just make it like a really nice sort of display piece. And so they tend to do a very good job of actually capturing all of the detail or the important parts of the detail of the championship that they're emulating. So here again, we've got the brighter green, because if you look, this is a brighter green strap. But you have the bright green, strap here with the blue camouflage backing. The full-size Signature Series has the orange strap with sort of like an olive green camouflage, camo-inspired backing. But blue and green are like my second and third favorite colors. So this was a color combination that really was enticing to me personally. And you can see on the back here, you do have the gold Signature Series patch. And this is numbered 439 of 500. I don't know if they're actually shipping out in like proper numerical order. But if this is, getting into like the last 60 of these before they're gone. If you want to get the Signature Series version, I don't know if they're going to do a second print or second production run without the special numberings. I have no idea what's going to happen there. But yeah, so you may want to jump on this. They do typically go on sale on www.shop.com, like the North American version. They will either do free shipping or 20 or 25% off. I got this when it was 25% off, and I was, again, pretty happy to have it. So we got the backing there, and then we've got the belt itself. Like I said, the front here, you have the "You Can't See Me," and the champ is here. The outer side plates have the square shape with the diamond border going around them. And these are actually mirrored from one another, so you have them being cut diagonally. This one, the outer side plate on the right side, goes from top left to bottom right, and the one on the left side of the strap goes from bottom left to top right. So they do mirror, which is cool. There were versions of the spinner that they actually didn't mirror. They were the exact same on both sides. So I am glad that they went with the later version of the spinner belt where they actually did do that. You can see the WWE logo with World Wrestling Entertainment in there. Then you have the inner side plate, and the way that unfortunately lighting picks up and the way that the stones kind of reflect things, It might not show up as well on camera as it does in person, but you've got the WWE lettering at the top there, along with the black champion lettering underneath. You have the circular pattern there to look like the center plate as well. You have a singular diamond, or simulated obviously in this case, but just a single stone at the top of it with the scroll pattern on the background. And then you have the eagle clutching, I think they're laurels or like a wreath in its talons there. So you got the green for the wreath or the laurels, whatever it's supposed to be. You've got the white stones representing the eagle's wings. You've got the red stone for the eagle's eye, and you can sort of see that its mouth is open and it is sort of like looking towards the center plate. And again, it is mirrored, so it is looking towards the center plate on this side as well. And speaking of the center plate, we do have the spinner center plate here. It does spin, although it doesn't spin as much as the full-size one, just because it lacks the mass to just sort of get itself to just almost perpetually spin, which again I'm fine with. I'd rather not spin like crazy. But you got the WWE logo with the red swoosh underneath with the stone sort of filling it in. You do have the champ banner, which again, it's a little bit harder to pick up on camera here, but you can sort of see the outline of the lettering here. And this is the signature series, so it does have the John Cena nameplate. I wanted to get one with an actual nameplate on it, not just blank. You have, again, the shape of the plate. It's sort of meant to mimic the Undisputed title in terms of like just the overall generic shape of it, because the Undisputed had sort of like the curved top and bottom, and you had the sides sort of again kind of curve in just based on the way they had like the arrowhead or spear tip sort of pattern at the top of the Undisputed title. So it's sort of meant to mimic the basic shape of that version. And it has, again, like the stones going around. You've got the stones going around the spinner portion here. The yellow stones on the corners, the four corners of the center plate as well. And you've got the eagle. This is the last version of the WWE Championship to have an eagle on it. There are rumors that Triple H is looking to redesign the WWE Championship along with, I think, at least the tag titles. And I really do hope if they come up with a new design for the World Championship that it has an eagle on it again, because eagles have been part of the WWE Championship for as long as I've been a wrestling fan, up until the point that the big scratch logo belt made its debut. So it'd be nice to see an eagle come back. As it stands right now, this was the last eagle that was ever on a WWE Championship belt, World Championship belt. I'm not talking about the US title. But yeah, again, I actually like the eagle design. Again, I don't want to get too much into the overall design in this video because I want to save that for my evolution of the championship, sort of video that I want to work on in the very near future. But I actually do like the eagle itself. Again, it's sort of meant to mimic the one that was on the Undisputed title. So you had it sort of above at the top part of the plate, and its talons were kind of clutching the globe. So here you kind of have it like the talons are clutching the WWE logo there. And you've got the dual plated wings, which is silver and then silver nickel plated tips, which looks pretty good, I have to say. I think they did a pretty okay job there. You've got the tail feathers represented with this sort of triangular pattern with the stones in them. And then you have the dual plated eagle's head, which is sort of nickel plated or silver plated. And the beak is more gold plated, and the beak is actually open, similar to the ones on the side plate, and it looks like it's sort of screeching. It looks a little more menacing, even though it is sort of like gem encrusted. It still actually looks really cool. I like seeing like the eagle looking kind of intimidating. So really, really cool stuff there. And overall a really decent mini belt. One last thing I should mention is that this is a really thick plated belt. So a lot of the mini belts are, can be a little bit on the thinner side as far as like the side plates and the main plate and stuff goes. But these are actually all really, decently sized. Like the outer side plate is the thinnest one, and that's probably still at least a 2, maybe even a 3 mil plate. The outer side plate, or the inner side plate, I should say, is probably about, again, 3 to 4 mil. And you've got, again, probably about a 5 mil center plate here, which is really impressive for these mini belts. And on top of that, the champion banner, or the champion plate, a relief plate, and the name plate. Again, it's hard to get it to focus just because the way it reflects light. But these are stacked on top of this already pretty decently thick plate, as is the Eagle. The Eagle is actually stacked on top as well. So, pretty good quality for what you're getting these for. And yeah, I'm glad I have this in my collection. It makes me really want to get into collecting some of the other mini belts for designs that aren't necessarily my favorite to the point where I'd want to have a full-size version of, but still would like to have for the purpose of doing like videos on them, or even just to have, because overall, like, I'd like to have more of like the mid-card titles and stuff like that as well, even though I don't like the US title designs enough to get like the full-size versions. So this makes me really want to get more into mini belt collecting. Again, it really does a very solid job of trying to capture all of the details of the full-size one, which for the spinner belt is actually harder than, again, you might think. Because with the full-size spinner, like, you use the gemstones for the lettering, like the WWE logo, for the Eagle's wings, and you've got, a larger area with the smaller stones to work with to really make that detail sort of pop. But I think that they actually did a pretty solid job overall with these mini plates, considering that, again, you're not going to be able to get as many gems on there to create the detailing that you might want. I think they still did a pretty solid job, and I'm actually really glad to have this in my collection. Never thought I would say that about a spinner belt, but here we are. I love the green strap. I love the blue that they used for the backing, and again, the details are really good on these mini belts, and these are some thick, hefty plates for a mini belt as well. So overall, very, very happy with this purchase, and this is a limited run. Again, they're numbered out of 500, so if you're interested in picking this up, I would recommend doing it sooner rather than later, because I don't think that they're going to re-release these later on. I think this is one of those things that when they're gone, they're gone. But now that I have it, I can eventually get to work on my evolution of the WWE Championship video that I want to get working on. So really happy to have that. Anyway, thank you guys very much. Let me know in the comments below. Do you collect any of the WWE mini belts? Or if you did, if you don't, and you want to get into it, which ones would you look to be getting first? Anyway, thanks again. I really appreciate it. And I will see you all next time. Until then, take care.